here you go. Here's where we update the enemy. So enemy holder I 0. So what we've just done here is basically the gravity. That's all we did. We did the gravity for the for every enemy, and then we update the object that we created. So X, that will be an I there. So we check if they hit a wall. Maybe did they hit a wall? Probably didn't. But if they did, stop them from going through it. If they hit the main player, then you stop them from going through it. There'll be some other code to do that anyway, but you want to have that just in case for many things. Alright, here come the errors. Yep, there you go. How's this got anything to do with that? Find free object identifier not found. Oh crap, why is this here? Oh, I remember, I moved it up, but the problem with that is I need to bring find free object as well up, so sorry about that guys. If you moved it up as well, then we need to bring find free object to above it. So whenever you're calling a function, the function's got to be above where you're calling it. So if you're calling it, for example, on load enemy hit cubes, you got to have it above load enemy hit cubes, or at the top. Whichever way you do it is good. So here we go, VYEN. These are things I didn't declare, just making sure. Yeah. So I'm just going to declare these at the top variables. We go float. Because these are being aware, well, these are telling the program where the enemy is everywhere on the map, enemy number. So they need to be floats because coordinates are floats usually. So got that there, VY, VXN, VI, VZ, and that should be it. So just do VYEN undeclared, VX, VY. Oh damn it, they're both capital, sorry about that. And there you go. And VX, VY, EN, ground EN. Oh damn it, forgot to do the ground one. So ground, this finds out, this tells you if the player's touching the ground or not. If not, do something about it, you know. So that's that. Okay, so down to 1 error, great stuff. X, I think that's our problem right there. And well, we won't actually see anything right now because the player isn't moving, but basically nope, I guess not. So we have an error here, object number 0 not set up. So yeah, so for this whole thing you got to do an object exist, because you forget that basically it'll try and update objects that don't exist, then you're screwed. Exist. So you want to make sure you do that. Enemy holder. Okay, so enemy holder I, and then put a 0 in there. So it does exist. If it does, I mean, then do that. Do that whole thing if it exists. Just move that forward a little bit, and let's just see if it does anything to it. Hopefully it would. Missing. Oops. So I'm moving extremely slow, which I can only assume that I'm using the enemy's gravity, so I made a mistake on that. But here are the enemies, alright? So, yep, there we go. This is where I did wrong, guys. So, if you did that wrong as well, just please fix it. I knew I'd have a few of these problems. VYEN, VYEN, VYEN. I hope that is it. So that's that. So we've done the enemy gravity, right? We're going to do the update of the enemies now. Now this bit is basically the enemy movement. Okay, so it's a little bit difficult, and the code is fairly long. So we'll try and, you know, be quick about this, get it out of the way. But basically, let's start this by saying update enemies. Alright, we're near the end, guys. There's not too much left. We just gotta do this function, do one more, and I think we're nearly done. So update enemies. So just gotta stick around here, to do that, and shouldn't be long. I have no clue how many parts this tutorial is going to be broken into, by the way, but I'm assuming a few, as I don't have to try and do a retake on it to see if I can shorten it down, because I don't think I can. So I is smaller than max enemy number, then you I++ it. So VXEN. Now this is basically the AI code that will let us that will let the enemy come after us when we annoy him. Okay, it's similar to our walking code, except, you know, and also this was made by me, so well, 100% of it, I mean, so it's, and I've never written AI code before, but it works alright. There's nothing wrong with it. So int can I see you equals 0, and this is where we're going to involve our bars, the bars that check if the player is in front of the enemy. So if dbObject exists, dbObject exists, so if the object exists, enemy holder I 0. So if they do exist, that's something I always make a neuron. Yeah, and so we only want to update them. Enemy holder I, and you got 5 here, equals 0. So if enemy does exist, an enemy holder, right? Now this means that the enemy isn't dead. So if it equals 1, that means the enemy is dead, and we don't want to update a dead enemy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go so if enemy, now this is where we check our different states. So if enemy holder I 4 equals 0, so if the enemy is in idle state, that is idle state means you don't want him running around, okay? You just want him checking if the main player runs in front of him. If you do run in front of him, they see you, they attack you. That's the whole idea. So you do that, and then you go if, this is where our bars come in, timer minus en line of sight timer bar timer and that will be an array, and then is greater than 5. Is it 5 or is it 10? Yeah, 10. So if db time minus, so the bar gets refreshed every 10 milliseconds. Okay, so initial turn equals false. Now initial turn is used so that when the enemy first sees the play, he first turns before just running, because the way I had it before is the enemy would see the play and he just immediately start running, and he would run towards whatever direction he was facing, so he'd usually go like to another side. So initial turn equals false, and then you go db move object. So we're updating our bar here, our line of sight bar, and I will show you it working in a second, so you can see how these are supposed to work. So yeah, en line of sight bar, so you're moving the bar and you're moving it by -5, okay? And then you say sc update object, because you want to update that bar object, because the bar was set out at the top when we did just after the line of sight, the hitbox cubes, line of sight bar, and just do that there. Okay, so you update the object. Okay, so yeah, line of sight bar, and then you say can I see you, which is a variable we declared up there, equals sc. So what you do here, instead of doing a group collision like we did before with the bullets, you check if the character gets touched by that bar, and if he does, then that means the enemy saw him. So you see, line of sight bar. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Mistake. So if the enemy, the bar touches the main player, then he can see you. So if can I see you equals 1. So if the bar touches the main player, right, then enemy holder I 4 equals 2. Yeah, and how long chasing. Now you want to reset this. This is the timer that defines how long the enemy has been chasing the main player, and we use it to make the enemy give up from chasing the player after 7 seconds. So and then en line of sight. Okay guys, back. So en line of sight timer, then you go line of sight bar timer, and then you go I equals dB timer. Okay, so that's that. And there you go, that's state 1. We refresh the bar. So yeah, then we're going to do something here. So do something similar to that. You go if dB timer minus en is greater than 2000. If dB timer minus en line of sight timer is greater, so what you do is you want to reset the bar's position object. So after 2 seconds of traveling, the bar's position gets put back. So en line of sight bar I. So you want to position that at position. So dB object position x enemy holder I, and then 4 0 actually. Yep, and then you do that, and we want to position it right there. And you want to do plus 40 here because you want to give it a little bit of height. You want to go dB rotate. So we do that one, rotate. And then we do this one here, object plus go en line of sight. I think. Yep. Let's do plus 40 there. No, I've typed this a billion times. I know that much. And dB object angle x. And we want to rotate it to the line of sight bar again. And we want to face it, do a 180 here, minus 180, so that it doesn't go behind the player, the bar, so that way the bar goes towards whichever way the player is facing, the enemy is facing. So that is done there. So then after doing that, you reset the timer. You say, yeah, so you go in line of sight timer equals line of sight timer. Now this isn't bar timer, guys, this is line of sight timer, let's remember that. Yeah, I made a small mistake here, guys. Just make sure you have exactly the same as I've got. En line of sight timer here, and we reset that, and then we have en line of sight bar timer at the top here. Okay, and then we reset that as well. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough.